It's funny because I never consider myself to be someone. I used to actually make fun of people who would do vlogging and stuff, but I figured, you know what, now is a good time as any because, like I said, I think there's people who could benefit from seeing someone live, you know, single woman, 33 years old, you know, making her way through life after having gone through a really, you know, harrowing experience, I guess you can say. I guess that's what you can call it. You know, making the best of it. There really is that saying, which I didn't realize that lemons were actually, I think lemons are like a hybrid, or is it limes? Wait, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I recently heard, I think it was limes that make, right? No, lemons I think are a hybrid of like two other fruits together. So when they say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So I don't know. Anyways, it's random. But my point is that I've definitely made a lot of lemonade in the past few years. And so this is my FurnishedFinder that I live in. It's not mine, it came furnished. So shout out to FurnishedFinder for that. And it's been pretty decent, I must say. You know, the utilities, everything is all paid for. I have my little desk over here. It looks kind of cozy when you look at it like this, right? Kind of reminds me when I first booked it and I was looking at the photos. See the couch? This is the living room. Bonnie's, hi Bear Bear. Bonnie's toys are over there. There's bean bags over there. See the windows? I keep the windows closed. Let's see what else. I have no, well, there's a garage where I can put storage, but it's kind of like, since the bushes are like right there, it's kind of like, I don't know, it would be especially hard to have a car. I could technically store this stuff there, but I don't know, I'll just keep it out. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be at this apartment for, but this is my apartment now. TV. That thing is awesome, except it kind of smells kind of stinky sometimes. I guess because like mold builds up and stuff. Kitchen. Pretty decent, right? Cute kitchen for the most part. I like the shelving. If I ever have a house of my own, I would definitely make sure that the shelving looks like that. My always pan, which definitely needs to be cleaned for sure. I like to keep the fan on a lot. Just thingies, and then the bedroom, which kind of looks, no, it's not that messy. That's I put that blanket on top, so, which I don't really know if I should show my bedroom on the internet, but you know what, who cares, right? Go big or go home at this point. But that's part of vlogging, right? You give an inside peek to your life, right? To the world. So that's my life. The windows are closed. Mailbox has been checked. See my holiday decorations from my Christmas mat. So, and Bonnie's pee-pee pad. I have her pee-pee pad set up that way. So, because she's trained to go potty inside. Or indoors. That's just the way she was when I raised her, basically. And that's it, right? Now we're gonna make hamburgers, right? I guess that's what Bonnie has learned. So Bonnie is really funny. So she's a very picky eater, kind of like me. So she takes after me. She doesn't like to, I bought her new food. I'm trying to give her like good, like, is it ethically sourced? I don't know if it means ethically sourced, but like, good quality dog food, because apparently kibble is like terrible for dogs. I didn't know this, but I try to give her good dog food. I tried the Pets Table. The packaging it seems like good food, but she got bored of that. She got bored of her dry food. She gets bored very easily with food. She's a lot like me, you know. She needs variation, but not super adventurous variation, just enough that it keeps it interesting and stimulating. So, yeah, but that's it. That was our walk, right? What do you think? What do you think? Hello. You look skinnier. She had a lot more weight on her, but she's lost weight because she hasn't been eating, because I don't think she feels too well, because she did have a fungal infection, though her test came back negative, which is interesting to me. Right, baby? Yeah? Mm-hmm. But I love her to pieces. I think there's a reason why, see, there's like a little lump or something behind it. I think those are her lymph nodes, or maybe it's a fat deposit, I'm not sure. But there's a reason why I think dog is God spelled backwards. I saw on Instagram once it said that God gave us dogs without wings, so I forgot, it's something really like inspirational. But definitely, dogs are very amazing creatures, very sentient beings, right? I think they're a lot smarter than what we, just like horses. Horses, I didn't realize how smart horses were, right? So, yeah. Right? Are we gonna have burgers? And one thing I did realize is that, ooh, that's not interesting. One thing I did realize that, I'm very much a dog person, so I've noticed that people I've gone out on dates with, that if they, people have come back here, hung out with me here, if they don't like dogs, I'm like, and you can tell if someone doesn't like dogs, because they're like, shoo, get off, get down, and if someone doesn't like dogs, I'm like, no. So dog people are my kind of people, right? Are you smelling my coat? I know. Okay, I'm gonna take my coat off. Okay, we say bye-bye. That was a good vlog day. Right? Good vlog day. Boop. We say bye-bye. 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 Even if it's like one person who watches my video, I don't even mind. As long as it helps somebody and I get to, reach people who, because let's say there's let's say there's somebody who's ready to take a big step in their life and take a leap forward in their life. Like you're single, and I hate to use the word single because I realize in society we tend to, we tend to categorize ourselves because we're a society that likes to give labels and things to compartmentalize things. And single as the word, it's like I'm so much more than a single person, but that's what I am. And meaning like I live by myself, it's a descriptive word, right? And if there's somebody out there who's wanting to make a move and do something different with their life and try something else, I definitely encourage you to do so. But definitely I will say this in terms of where I'm living. Do your homework. Check out what the location is like. I'm gonna take this off for a second. That's my, I need to put it here. Do your homework in the respect of check to see I have to wear my giant jacket because it's freezing, right? Do your homework and check to see what the location is like, because for me, it's very far from like certain areas and I have to walk everywhere. So, it's harder for me to in terms of getting around. There's a taxi service that I use that's run by this husband and wife team, which I'm very grateful for. But ideally, I could get a scooter or a bike, but I'm kind of, those scooters that what's it called, that you can like stand on and that kind of thing. I'm kind of scared to do that. A bike I can also use, but really where would I store it? Also, it went to military time. I didn't want it to be military time. It's a military time. Okay. My watch just changed to military time, which I did. It says 2015, which I did not do that. Okay. What else, River? So final thoughts for, this is my first ever video I'm going to post as like a vlog or whatever. I've never done a vlog before. I did do a video diary of myself, by myself, for me to just reflect and recollect my thoughts, right? I guess my watch is stuck on military time now. I don't know why. I didn't set it that way. So I would definitely say if you're going to move to an area, which now I know from the future to do my homework, is that if you don't have a car, even if you do have a car, make sure that you're close to things that like are within walking distance, because if you're not, your mental health will. I'm a resilient person. I'm gonna turn this off. I enjoy my own company. I don't mind being by myself. But if if you're looking to move to a new city and you're by yourself, and let's say you've gone through some stuff that's like, my case, people have been kind of not so nice to me and mean to me. Like I said, bullying and whatnot. Do yourself a favor and do the research. Like, look into like the demographics of the city and the location. Like right now there's someone driving I guess it's a dirt bike. It's like the motors are like, that happens a few times. That's like the most in terms of noise. What else I would say? Because when I lived in Virginia, I lived in like a kind of a very centralized location in Virginia. It was a like workplace sleep kind of situation, like basically like an outdoor mall called Mosaic, and it was so loud. Oh my gosh, there were like, I'm gonna make the hamburger soon, burger. There were like sirens going off all the time because I literally, my apartment was like right off the street, so I would always hear sirens going. It was like a huge parking garage. People would do drag racing up and down. I was always wondering why the security wasn't doing anything about that. But here, you know, the perks and benefits of it, it's quiet and calm and like more tranquil, except for occasionally like someone going up and down on a dirt bike, I guess. But I'm far from things. So if you're someone that's looking to move to a new location, do your research, do your homework, and make sure there's like transit or transportation. Make sure there's like there's easy access to like urgent cares, hospitals. I kind of did a boo-boo and I didn't, I was going through a lot, so I found a job that was working with kids, because like I said in my intro video, I love to work with kids, and it was at a daycare, it was a preschool, and it was a nature-based preschool, so I was like, this is the coolest. Why are Bonnie's now like, she goes from being lively to like, what, Bibber? What? Are you hungry? I'm gonna make the hamburgers in a second, Bibber. Hamburgers are like my favorite thing to eat ever, basically now. And they're probably not that good because they probably have a lot of cholesterol, right? But I know there's healthy cholesterol and there's not. There's LDL and HDL. But anyways, again, I digress. But do your research, do your homework, because if you don't, you can end up stuck in this. I don't want to say I'm stuck in this town or this city. I try to think positively, but ideally, it's not where I'd want to be. I'd want to be somewhere that's like, it's centrally located, but it's not so congested, and it's quiet and peaceful, and the neighbors are friendly. I will say that there is a very big difference between city, like the people up north here, like Vermont, Maine, like New England area, versus people in down south. It's like when you think of Southern hospitality, that's like a real thing. Like, people here, like when I had my penguin, my penguin decoration that I don't have room for, right? I don't have room for, but very nicely sits in the corner over there, even though it's way past Christmas, right? Even though the Christmas spirit you can keep with you like all year round. I was gonna say that had actually, when it was outside in the front, during the holiday season, it actually, what's it called? That guy's really going to town on his bike. Hopefully he doesn't, I don't know how bikes are made, like those motorbikes, like the dirt bikes, but I think it's called blowing a gasket. I guess if you go too fast, I don't know if they can go, but hopefully he doesn't hit a tree or something like that, or hit a person, God forbid. But anyways, and hopefully they're wearing a helmet too, but that's another story. I'm not the police. I can't police people. What was I gonna say? I forgot so in terms of southern, like different, like up north people versus down south people, I will say one thing I've noticed is that people here, like I had my penguin, I call him Penguino because I'm Hispanic like that. Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to step on your foot. Penguino was out in the middle of the road, and I guess it was so windy, there was like a snow squall or a snowstorm, and Penguino fell, like his basically like in the middle of the road, right? Like completely, and no one else. I remember there were some people during Christmas time that decorated their yards. I was like one of the few. The people next door, they put this blue spiral on their porch, which is really pretty actually. They still have it on there. I will say, like I said, Vermont is really big on lights. But my Penguino was in the middle of the road, and I'm sure people know that's my Penguino, and they didn't do, like, if it was me and I was walking by, I would definitely go ahead and put that, at least I would put it on their yard, or like, somewhere, because that's just me, that's my heart, that's who I am. Other people, not some, it sat there, it sat there in the road, and I was like, okay, no one's gonna do anything, so I just, I brought it back, but that was kind of disappointing. It's kind of like my heart went, because I'm an empathetic person, so seeing, my my penguino sad and lonely on the street, and not dilapidated, but because I take a lot of pride in my Christmas decorations. I'm someone who loves to decorate for like all the holidays, like Valentine's. Like if I could, I need to be on a very tight budget because I'm not financially, I'm not where I want to be. There's a reason for that, but I'm not going to go into it because I'm going to stay positive. But I'm the kind of person I like to decorate for all the holidays, and if I could, I would have a flag for every single holiday out there right now, but I don't. I just have my humankind be kind flag. What, Bibber? That was me because I was stepping on the floor. I'm sorry. Bonnie is very sensitive to sounds. Like, she's very sensitive to sounds and big trucks. I've noticed. I don't know what happened to her. She's originally from Alabama, so I don't know how she was treated down there, but apparently some police officers, like, found her and rescued her. That's what they told me. That's what as the story goes. And now she's with me. I can't say I'm like the best dog mom, but I try. I've gone through a lot of SHITs, so I know I should be like taking her for more walks and stuff, but there's a reason why sometimes I get kind of reluctant to do that safety-wise, because my safety was kind of compromised back home in, the 305. But I'm here now, and I will say, though, my advice is if you're a single, especially female, or, because if you're a man, it's different. Like, if you're a man moving somewhere, you're a man, so people aren't gonna, mess with you that much, but when you're a single, female, alone, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't, I'm not married, even though, I used to be very gung-ho about that stuff. Not so much now. I consider myself very self-partnered. But people who have the luxury of being, if they're coupled up, or even if they have a close friend that's a man, it's different. I'm very picky about who I decide to, be friends with and partner up with. But I don't really have that. I know there's the neighbor across the street, there's the person next door, but I don't know not to say I'm on okay terms with them. I don't really talk to them that much. But yeah. That's my tidbit for today. I should write that, tidbit for today. And there was something else I said earlier on the walk that I said I need to write it down. Respect and reflect. I think I'm going to write that down. It's you never want to judge people. The people literally outside, they had skeletons hanging out from their ceiling. And it's April, and I'm I don't want to judge. I'm maybe they like skeletons. I don't know. It is springtime, but, I'm not one to celebrate a skeleton unless you're in medical school and you're learning about the axial and appendicular, because there's the axial and the appendicular skeleton or skeletal parts. So anyways, that's it, right? We say yay. Bonnie's not amused at all. She's like, Mom, I'm hungry, make me food, bitch. I will say that if not, then I don't expect to amass a bunch of followers, but I do curse like a sailor. I have very much of a potty mouth, and I try to, it's more if I stub my toe, I'll say, oh, S-H-I-T, or instead of F-U-C-K, maybe I should say fudge. I need to be more proper in that respect. I need to be a lady, right, Bibber? Try to be a lady as much as I can be. Right? But this is my first... I can't believe I'm gonna put it on the internet. That's gonna be crazy. And I'm ready for the scrutiny. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, oh my god, she's writing about her walk. Wow, people are sad these days. And I'm like, well, if you think about it, I've garnered a lot of wisdom and information from people who have talked about their lives and opened up about their personal experiences. So it's why can't I do that for mine? Right? I mean, maybe someone wants to move to Vermont and they're a single woman with a dog or a cat, and they're like, should I do it? I would say if you do move to Vermont, Burlington is kind of the hub. You're very close to Canada. I didn't know this until I moved here. I didn't realize how close, literally Canada is an hour away. If you ever do go to Canada, make sure you have a mobile plan that supports that, and check your SIM card, because when I went there to Montreal for a New Year's Eve visit, or New Year's Day visit, whatever, that didn't really go as planned. I literally lost my internet coverage, which was that was a very daunting, harrowing experience, and I say that facetiously because it was one of the most traumatic and dramatic experiences of my life, because being in a country where you have no cell service, you're basically going dark and you go blind. You don't have anything. I tried to connect the phone to the rental car I was in, because the rental car was a Chevy Malibu and it had Wi-Fi, and that didn't really go as planned. And then I had to ask a stranger in a gas station, the gas station attendant, and I said my very broken, basic beginner level French. I asked him, you know, do you have cell phone cards or whatever? And he didn't understand. So then I asked a stranger. Luckily, that guy, his name was, I think, Guy, literally. He let me connect to his phone, which really is, and that's dangerous as well, because someone could like swipe all your information that way. But I really didn't have and it was actually a date. I was going to meet someone for a date. Didn't really go as well as I had hoped, but that's okay, because that's life. You get knocked down, you bring yourself right back up again. So, and that being said, I have to use the restroom, and I'm gonna make Bonnie some burgers, and I'm gonna do a round of applause for my first, it's a very long video, 20-minute first vlog walk time video. There's a guy who's actually, it's really cute. I don't watch him anymore, but he was on Instagram. His name was Charlie, My Life, I forgot, Day in the Life of Charlie, I don't know, but he calls it walkies and wee-wees. He calls it walkies and wee-wees. He lives in the UK. Or no, he didn't live in the UK. He said he lived in Spain. But he had these 2 cute dogs that were called Podencos. And he talks about their life and, you know, shows like his life living in Spain. He's like a singer, like a songwriter or whatever. But that's one thing I always say. It's, you know, well, not always say, but he would say walkies and wee-wees. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know if he would have, I'm sure he doesn't know who I am. But I don't know. He's all the way on the other side of the world. But it would be funny if I put walkies and wee-wees with Bonnie. I don't think he would care, because he doesn't know me, but it's just something that I think would be cute to call the title of the video. Right, Bibber? Yes! Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. But that's it. That was my first day of vlogging. Is that what it's called? Vlogging? Is it blogging or vlogging? I don't know. It's still fun, though. So hopefully I get to help somebody. And, again, I don't expect to amass a bunch of people, but, you know, maybe it'll touch somebody's life or make them go, hey, I didn't think of that. I didn't know Vermont looks like that. Oh, maybe I should move there. Maybe I shouldn't. Definitely think it over. But Burlington is more of the hub. I wish I kind of did live closer to Burlington, because there's like, but oh my gosh, housing is so hard over there. There's like no housing over there. Like, God forbid you go on apartments.com or Zillow or like Hot Pads, even FurnishedFinder, there's like nothing available. And I'm not saying that like to be like, you know, negative about it. It's just like it's really hard to find housing, and if you do, you're lucky. So ideally, hopefully, my lease here ends in June, so I'm kind of contemplating moving back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or Florida. It's like I don't know how far of a drive that is. That's such a far drive. Even though Florida has like the theme parks in Orlando, I kind of grew up going to Disney. Like, you know, that was kind of my thing and my family's thing. We had like an annual pass and we went there all the time. So a lot of my child, like, there's Epcot Food and Wine Festival. There's the Flower and Garden Festival. I would love to, you know, I don't know if I'd live in Orlando, but I would love to. It would be nice to be back in the sunshine, but I'm not going to really think of that because I can't. It's a really far drive. And I already drove from Virginia to Florida once, and that was treacherous. I think I survived like a sandstorm. They were doing construction all along like the road, like not along the road, in the road, like on the highway. And I literally remember I had my windows open and dust would just come in to the car. It was crazy. So we'll see. You never know what life has in store. Ideally, I mean, one day it would be nice to go abroad, to travel abroad. I just don't know how safe that is, especially for being a single female. You know, like I said, if I had like a partner, and I don't mean like female partner, I mean, well, a friend, yeah, but like a boy, like someone to go with me, that's a little different because you have someone with you versus like me going by myself. That would be it would be I know there's women that do that. There's women who like live in their vans and like, you know, kudos to them. Those are bad. Can you say ass? I don't know if you could say ass on the internet, maybe on YouTube at least, but those are really bad, brave, bold women. I don't know if I consider myself to be part of that category, but you know, I do consider myself kind of a lot more fearless than I was before. I literally have a tattoo that says fearless on my arm, which I never thought I'd get a tattoo, but I did. I have 4 tattoos. I have 1, 2, which is a heart. And then I have one that says love always wins. And then I have that one there. So that's it. Right, Bibber? Anything else I wish to share before I put this out in the world and I open myself up to all the scrutiny that the world has to offer? You know, I kind of, when I think about it, I feel bad for celebrities sometimes because, like, their whole life is, like, out in the open. Like, God forbid, like, you want to date somebody, everyone knows who you're dating. You want, like, the people who do a new movie or, like, you know, something, they can't even, like, I don't even want to know. I would hate to be a celebrity. Like, I would, like, crawl under a rock and, like, have, like, a hideaway cabin so no one would talk to me. But anyways, I'm going to get going. We need to eat dinner, right, Bibber? It's 8:30. And I'm a bit of a night owl anyways, but still, I don't know how healthy it is to eat dinner. Like, having a full meal at, like, 8:30. I used to eat, like, at 10 o'clock, which is really bad for you. But I'm getting better. Baby steps. Right, Bibber? Baby steps. Okay, that's it. Boop.